and I'll put up some important points as they come up. First, we're going to talk about the changes coming to Arena multiplayer with the new map Catalyst dropping day 1. Now, all we have so far is the art being shown now, so as soon as we get some more information, I'll be sure to get that out to you. Updated versions of King of the Hill, along with a classic version, and attrition is going into quick play and custom games. Changes to reviving and attrition. The revive mechanic will no longer pause the revived player after they spawn in, which is very nice. The revivee or the person reviving the player will still be locked into place as they are now, but the team is looking at possibly changing that in the future. The 343 team has goals this season to rotate in some new playlists with fun variants. Elimination will finally be making its debut during season 2. It'll show up in matchmaking as a rotational playlist and custom games. Medic achievement will be attainable in custom games now, which makes it a lot easier to obtain for you achievement hunters. And changes coming to the radar and social playlist. Edge functionality for the motion tracker is coming in season 2. Edge functionality means that players that are sprinting, shooting, or operating vehicles that are just outside of your range on the radar will now show up on the outer fringe of the motion tracker. The inside portion of your radar will still operate the same as it does now, with the additional ranges for the new functionalities up on screen. The arena motion tracker ranges are going to say, like I said, the inside is the same at 18 meters, the outside being 30. BTB, the inside the same at 24 meters, and the edge functionality being 40. Now, a quick note for Academy, endless weapon drills are coming in season 2, so that's something to look forward to. To the audio section, we get a reduction in the recharge sound of enemy shields slightly at the start of season 2, making it more difficult for a pursuer to audibly locate an enemy. Dynamo grenades currently are bugged and provide audio hit ticks in ranked when grenade hit markers should be disabled. Unfortunately, a fix will not be ready for season 2, but it will be addressed in the future. Now, 343 has some reports of issues hearing players and shots behind you on certain headphones. They've determined it's the headphones' fault and not Halo, so just get a better headset. Campaign-wise, the grunt birthday party sound effects volume will be increased at the start of season 2. Onto the big team battle section, Breaker, the new map available day 1 of season 2, which features a giant freaking laser that cuts across the center of the map and destroys anything that's caught in its beam. The legendary Jeff Steitzer will call out medal accolades, while the commander will still be there for your field evaluation feedback. The 343 team is working on equal vehicle drops, including asymmetrical modes like Slayer and Total Control, as well as weapon rack spawns not always being asymmetrical, and big team battle will be addressed in the season 2 build. In matchmaking and rank specifically, players are reporting teammates that are out of their depth or skill level. 343 says it's their top priority to reduce the difference in skill between players in competitive matches, and they will continue to work on and monitor closely. A champion rank is coming for the highest ranked Onyx players, but not for season 2. Community-wide agreement that the amount of CSR and rank goes up and down is confusing, so 343 tried to clear it up for us a bit. CSR is dependent on the outcome of the match, whether that be a win or a loss, individual performance, and relative skill of your teammates and opponents. Now, the issue the community is having is on the second bullet there, the individual performance, because it seems like it's only if you frag out do you really get a bonus for that. You don't really get any kind of bonuses for capturing the flag, holding the oddball, this, that, the other. It's just frag out. And that's the big issue the community has with the ranked right now, and why they want an overhaul of the system. Now, currently, the CSR updates that appear on your screen after a match show your total session progress in ranked since you launched the game. When season 2 launches though, that will be updated to show the progress made from the most recent match, so finally we get a little bit more clarity on your per match performance. No changes coming for season 2 in regards to the reconnect, rejoin, or forfeiture features, but the 343 team is continuing to find new ideas to improve the integrity and the quality of matches, so still getting shafted there. Season 2 will have more regular rotations while rotating out less popular playlists and putting up new ones. Hopefully this will keep the popular playlist going longer and lead to more people wanting to play Halo. Long term, they're looking at more options for players to have more autonomy over what they're wanting to play, but unfortunately we're still gonna have to wait a couple more seasons for that. In regards to crossplay, crossplay. 343 is hesitant to allow console members to opt out of crossplay as it could massively increase queue times for matchmaking for both console players and PC players, but a team is working on a feature list for future updates along with improvements to their anti-cheat system Arbiter to hopefully alleviate some of the issues causing console players to want to opt out. Work since launch ongoing to help improve matchmaking for lower populated regions like Australia, and will continually improve during the lifetime of the game, but no immediate update at this time. 343 does continue to consider features like server selection similar to the Master Chief Collection or search preferences similar to Halo 5 down the road as they've talked about in the past. Now a little information on equipment. The drop wall and overshield will have some balancing tweaks that should help them perform better come season 2, and the overshield shield state, whether that be full or a sliver, not being apparent enough is on 343's radar and will be revisited in a future update. On to vehicles, the Brute Chopper, we have a buff to the chopper collision damage, so running over shit, which is its strength, is going to be increased. 343 will evaluate after the above change to determine if gun damage needs to be increased to help balance it out a little bit more. Now a couple of changes to the Banshee, changes to buff the Banshee's agility and increase damage from both its weapons. Health is not going to be buffed as it's not meant to take much damage, it's just mostly meant as a damage dealing kind of bomber. And the Warthog and the Razorback, various changes have been made to essentially treat the ground flatter than it is, and overall you'll just see better control with the two vehicles. On to movement. Community has been asking for increased physics impulses to help with grenade jumping, but 343 feels no changes should be made, so they're keeping it as is. Deal with it. Allied player collision will continue to be turned off as 343 believes having it off lets combat flow a little bit more naturally, though 343 wants to make it a player option that you can switch on or off in custom games. To the aiming section, mouse and keyboard players using the scroll wheel to change weapons reported it being inconsistent. 343 plans to address this after season 2. Aim assist for controller players is reportedly being turned off when a shield breaks or while jumping, and 343 says if this is happening it would be a bug and investigating any issues that players do report. And talking about zooms, if you would like zoom sensitivities for that classic Halo feel, they are on screen now. A few notes on custom games and Forge. 343 is looking to have more adjustable game mode options in custom games. The plan is to continue expanding custom options over time. They currently have a long list of backlog items the team is working on to build more mode variety and give players more control over all settings. They have additional bug fixes addressed for season 2 and will continue to address them as they arise. The custom game browser, the team is in early stages of production for a custom games browser, so that's super fucking exciting. Forge is not going to arrive anytime sooner, so stop asking about it, because it's not going to happen. On to, unfortunately, a slightly depressing section because we're going to talk about weapons and the Mangler specifically, and RIP to the one-shot beatdown. With season 2 comes a 10% reduction in melee damage globally across all weapons, which will make the Mangler a 2-shot beatdown instead of its current 1-shot. So a moment of silence for that. Moment over. The BR and rank will maintain the same melee damage to keep its 2-shot beatdown. The Ravager is getting a buff to the splash damage on its non-charged shot for season 2. In regards to the Pulse Carbine, Plasma Pistol, and Commando, you know, the 3 weapons that really don't have a place in the game, 343 is aware of the underperformance, and once the dust settles from the changes we just talked about with the Mangler, they're going to reevaluate them and make changes if needed. Players are requesting the Gravity Hammer have a faster attack activated by your normal melee button that would not deplete your ammo, which would be an awesome balance change to the long swing time the weapon currently has, and apparently 343 agrees as they are tracking, and it's on radar for the future, so something to look forward to there. 343 is also working to improve the rocket splash damage, but no change yet. Now on to some really exciting stuff. Personal AI and Spartan Chatter. Granular controls of each in-game voice, that being personal AI, Spartan Chatter, or the multiplayer announcer. With season 2 comes a better balance of combat chatter and feedback across multiplayer. Less chatter with the greater emphasis on what's important. Sandbox. Now the team is aware and working on DC issues related to shot registration and player rubber banding or warping, and they're working on improvements to correct these areas. Season 2 2 specifically for melee, improvements to resolve the warping or phasing that happens when players melee each other by reducing the rebound behavior. Aiming for melee should better snap to your target to help land additional melees and reduce whiffing. Onto friend or foe IFF recognition, otherwise known as player outline. Shield effects improvements coming in the future that will help improve the communication they give of an opponent's shield state. Season 2 will also bring the ability to modify both the values of opacity and thickness for the outline to your desire. Wrapping up the last few sections here, accessibility. Desire for an auto sprint option will not be answered in Season 2, so shh. Team is currently investigating exposing more color option based on pain points for players like damaged colors, HUD colors, etc. to add more colorblind settings, but again, no change for Season 2. 343 team is in very early exploratory stages for an audio visualization feature and are committed to making Halo fully playable without audio, providing players with hearing disabilities to have the same information we all have. On to UX UI, near-term quality of life fixes for the existing customization menu are planned, and a more simplistic static view of challenges is returning to the pause menu during matches. Backpack secondary grenades are going to be visible in multiplayer and will be coming in an update, so be sure to look out for that. The 343 team is working on HUD customization options that are a ways off, with the hopes to make it so you can display your equipment next to your radar, similar to Reach and Halo 4. 343 team is also working on muting players easier by using the scoreboard during gameplay, and will be released as part of a larger short-term effort to enhance player reporting and anti-cheat features. And after the first round of quality life improvements, 343 will be working on improving in-game messaging to players who are banned, so they know for how long and what they did to get the naughty bounce. Finally, to PC stability and performance, 343's internal builds have gotten so much better in terms of stability, and in total the team has resolved dozens of crashes, and the impact should be quite noticeable when Season 2 launches. Or beyond Season 2, 343 has started a new focused effort around optimizing the game for players with 120 plus frames per second and higher, which will maintain the same visual quality bar while allowing players to bump their frame rate compared to what they got in Season 1. Anti-cheat or arbiter. 343's efforts are in two main areas: streamlining the process of reporting players for cheating or being toxic, and solutions for improving their ability to keep cheaters out of the game. And for you PC players, the red reticle will not be returning. Be sure to click right meh. It goes through some very important settings to prepare you for Season 2. Subscribe for more Halo content. I appreciate the hell out of you for watching. Bye!